I don't know.
But I
It's
I feel like what's happened in my lifetime is the definition of rape has expanded. And some of that definition I consider to be completely appropriate, right? Like when I was young, it seemed like, date rape is date rape rape? Yes, clearly date rape is rape. It doesn't matter like it sometime during my lifetime, like the right of a girl to like get to third base and say no then was created, I think, so that's a thing. But now I feel like in some cases it almost extends too far. And God, I hope I don't come off as like pro rape on this thing, but you get girls who like 3 years later say, you know what? I figured out that one night I slept at his place, I was probably raped, or like almost any regrettable action becomes rape. I've talked to, I don't want to throw my daughter under the bus, but like she's like, I don't know if she'd call it rape, but like imagine this scenario, right? Girl and guy getting romantic. She says no. He tries to like convince her through words or actions to make her change her mind. Actions like kissing or whatever, like like if I could get her all riled up, then she would change her mind and say yes. Um, she's defining that almost as sexual assault, whereas to me that falls under like fairly normal courting behavior. Like you go as far as it goes until she says no, and if she says no, sometimes like, all right, we'll just go back to boob touching and
I
hopefully.
mean, isn't that like the entire history of mankind? Is you go up until that point, no cavemen were sitting back like, well, I know that you
Me
really want
not
my
want to push her
Neanderthal
too
dick.
far.
Yeah, but no,
She good girl.
Like it,
whoa, how about we get a couple of pelts in here, get something to build our life off of before we go having kids? Like, no, of course, that never fucking happened.
yeah,
Like, that makes sense.
damn screen size.
We're good.
But like uh yeah, like young version of me, right? Like she's letting me touch her boob. Will she let me unzip her zipper? No. All right, back to boob touching. Go there for like 10 minutes. Try zipper again. All of a sudden that's rape now? Like
Well, no, I don't think anybody thinks that. Like,
Some people do. I
maybe
don't
somebody
like this
does.
topic. It's just not going to go well. We're not going to win over any people. Nobody's going to go, you know what? Before I thought that was sexual assault, but Woody's convinced me. Those teenage boys are just hornballs. They can't help it. No one's going to say that. There are some people who might be like, he's advocating child rape. That motherfucker. So you're never going to win this argument, but I agree with you. Sure. The whole courtship in general, a guy and a girl going out. It's a weird dance where oftentimes, and I'm not saying this is how I do things, but you're playing games back and forth, and there's flirtation, and it's sort of this back and forth exchange that's when you start being so specific and saying, oh, up until this point everything's okay, you can't have rigid guidelines with that. But I know exactly what you're talking about. When you're making out with someone and you're trying to round the bases, you're either going to get waved in or they're going to stop you, and that's just how it is. Sometimes you get a couple of at bats, though.
Yeah.
That's just how it works.
It's not up to that point that's doing anything creepy. It's how you handle after that point. If she's like,
Yes.
"Oh no, no, oh don't unbutton my pants," and you're just like, "Just sit with it," like then you're probably
Like,
definitely in the wrong there.
Fine then. You just wasted my time then. Oh, I see how
But
it
if
is.
it turns out
like
that-
emotionally damaging her and like guilting
Yeah.
her. Yeah.
But
yeah,
if it turns
right.
out that maybe just you're too early in the intimacy process there, and
Well,
your vibes haven't met up yet, you're not at that peak moment, and so you back off, and then you little more boob play. I guess I think that was what you were saying was the preface to it.
Yeah, I I